Welcome back. You're still watching Network Africa on Channels Television. Today is June the 11th, the day when the Al Jazeera journalists were supposed to have been tried again in Egypt based on accusations of aiding the Muslim Brotherhood, which is now seen as a terrorist organization by the Egyptian government. Without surprise, things didn't go well for the trio the trio of Peter Gresta, Baher Mohammed, and Mohammed Fahmy, as the trial date has been postponed again to June the 25th. Let's hear what Baher Mohammed and Mohammed Fahmy had to say about the latest development.
First of all, today, with the great performance of the lawyer today tackled everything in the case. He proved that everything was void: the search permission, the arrest permission. I'm happy with his performance, and I'm also very happy with what the Court of Cassation said today about the bullet, because I think every single journalist, when he covers some incident or conflict or anything, he wants to bring back a souvenir. So thank God that the Court of Cassation today, or the lawyer told me the Court of Cassation said that forget about this bullet.
I feel that he's very responsive, and I think we will be exonerated, and we're very hopeful.
Well, indeed, they're very hopeful, but we'll just like to do a backtrack to show you how many times the retrial dates have been moved concerning this case. Now, the first hearing was on February the 23rd, 2015. It was then fixed for March the 8th, 2015, and then moved again to March the 19th. Then again, the hearing was fixed for March the 27th, then April the 22nd, then April the 28th, then May the 9th, then June the 3rd, then June the 11th, which is today, and it has been moved again without surprise to June the 25th, 2015. Well, for more on this, we go right now live via telephone to join human rights lawyer, Mr. Femi Falana, who has been monitoring this incident, this case, for as long as it's been making the news. Mr. Falana, thank you very much for your time again on Network Africa.
Well, it's my pleasure.
We'd like to ask you this question again, based on this development. Are there any other legal options that these journalists have?
Before I answer your question, I think I should actually make a correction or remind you of the fact that the postponement of this case did not start in February this year.
Really?
This same set of journalists had been made to go through an illegal trial, which was set aside on appeal. So what you are witnessing is a trial de novo, a new trial, because the other trial was faulted by an appellate court. There was no evidence. The trial was illegal. Ordinarily, the journalists should have been discharged and acquitted. But in order to wage a psychological warfare on them and to hold them vicariously liable for reporting the activities of the Muslim Brotherhood, this new trial was made to commence. But so far, there is no shred of evidence to link the journalists with the Muslim Brotherhood. Hence, this trial is being postponed ad nauseam. At the end of the day, there will be no evidence to back up the horrendous harassment of the journalists who were simply performing their professional duty.
Now, Mr. Falana, you do say that at the end of the day, there will be no evidence to back up these allegations. But how long will this go on? Because it seems as though there will be another retrial postponement come June the 25th. Well, how long will it be before we can see some form of possibly, a legal intervention from an external body who can intervene in this matter?
Unless we're trying to see how we can mobilize global opinion against the charade that is going on in Egypt. Unfortunately, because the Sisi regime is largely, supported by Western countries, led by the United States of America, there has been a silence, a conspiracy of silence with respect to the massive violations of human rights in Egypt right now. And that is why we have to get the human rights community around the world and supported by a Committee for the Protection of Journalists to see what can be done. I'm already planning to take this matter to the African Commission, dragging the Egyptian government to the African Commission, because the president, that's President Sisi, had already said that there was no basis for this trial. So he shouldn't pretend that he's helpless in the circumstance. He could put an end to the illegal and embarrassing trial right now. And that is why sufficient prayer has to be brought on Egypt so that this trial can stop.
Well, indeed, Mr. Falana, it's really good to hear that you do intend to take this matter to the African Commission, because we know for certain that the Committee to Protect Journalists has been staying with this, but possibly with more pressure, like you say, there will be some, it might be over come June the 25th. But we're very grateful, as always, for your input. Thank you very much for joining us on Network Africa.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's Mr. Femi Falana, renowned human rights lawyer. We'll take another break now on the program. When we come back, some can take the heat in Burundi, and some cannot. Instead, they choose to bow out. Find out who we're talking about in a moment. Please stay with us.